Okay, so we have a little bit more division to do, and we're going to spend a couple of days on this so that you can get lots of practice before we take the test next Tuesday. Notice when we set up the problems, the very first number is what goes in the box. It's the one that's being divided up, split apart equally. And to make this easier to do, because it's hard to think about, 12 and a little bit more, but not quite 13, being divided by 3 and a little bit more, not exactly 3. But what we can do to make it easier is we can turn the divisor into a whole number. And the way you do that is, if this is 3 4/10, if you take it times 10, that's going to make it 34. Fast, easy way to do that is to just move the decimal over here. And now it's 34. That's what it's like when you take a number times 10. You just move the decimal to the right one time. Remember, we kind of talked about when we talked about scientific notation and moving the decimal. This is the same thing. So we took 3 4/10 times 10. Well, to keep it balanced, you have to take the dividend inside the box times 10 also. And that means we move it one time. So however many times you moved it in the divisor, that's how many times you move it in the dividend. And now the decimal is here, and that means it's going to go here in our answer. And we're going to divide it like it's 1,292 divided by 34. Okay, so I'm going to take this piece right here. Oh, it's not going to, well, I can't erase the whole thing. I thought I could. So now it's 34 divided into 129 2/10. So let me move the decimals again so you guys can see that. Here's that, and now it's here. Okay, now 34 into 129 goes about 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12. Carry your 1. 3 times 3 is 9. Plus the 1 that you carried is 10. And then we have 27 left over. As long as your your leftovers are smaller than your divisor, you're good. Now bring down the next number. And now we're going to divide 272 by 34. So one way you could think about, make it a little easier for yourself, how many times does 3 go into 27? It goes 27 right there. It goes 9 times. I think 9 is going to be too big. So I'm going to try 8. 8 times 4 is 32. Carry your 3. 8 times 3 is 24. Plus 3 is 27. And that comes out perfect. So your answer is 3 8/10. All right, let's look at number 2. We need to turn that divisor into a whole number. So let's move the decimal all the way to the end of the number. It's just one time. That's easy. Now it's there, which means to keep it balanced, we have to move the 1 in the dividend one time. Now it's there. Okay, so the very first step is to move that decimal to make it a whole number, all the way to the end of the number. And however many times it takes you to do that, you have to move it inside the box, the dividend. All right, now 7 into 2, no, it doesn't go. 7 into 22 goes 3 times. 3 times 7 is 21. And then I'm going to subtract. I have 1 left over. Bring down that 4. And now I have 14. 7 into 14 is 2, which is 14. Okay, I have 0 remaining, but I have one more number here to divide. Is 7. 7 into 7 is 1, and it terminated. Okay. Let's do number 3 together. How many times does it take for you to get that decimal to the end of the number? 1 move. Now it's a whole number. It's a 5. I moved it once. I got to move it once in my box. It was right there, which means it's going to go here in my answer. Okay, 5, it doesn't divide into 0. It doesn't divide into 0. 5 into 2, nope, still doesn't go. 5 into 25, exactly 5 times. Notice once I get my decimal in my answer, I really don't have to worry about it anymore. In all of my work over here and over here, there's no decimal. It's only in the box and in my answer, and that's it. This number terminated, and we're ready to move on. Okay, now we have 800ths. How many times will it take you to get the decimal to the end of 800ths? 1, 2. Now it's an 8. I moved it twice. That means I'm going to have to move the one in the divisor, in the dividend twice. 1, 2. Okay, now my decimal's there. So I'm going to divide 8 into 70. Well, it doesn't go into 7, but 72, it goes 9 times. 9 times 8 is 72. There's 0 remaining. Bring down the next number. That's a 2. 8 into 2, doesn't go. Need to put a 0 there. 8 times 0 is 0. I have 2 leftovers. Bring down the next number, which is 4. That makes 24 down here. 8 into 24 is 3. Okay? I always emphasize that you need to keep your numbers lined up. Okay, these numbers are lined up, these numbers are lined up, and these numbers are lined up, and that helps you keep your decimal lined up too. They got a little bit crooked there. Got to be careful. Okay, number 5. I move the decimal 1 time to get to the end of it. So that means I'm going to move my dividend 1 time, which means my decimal is going to go here. This is a very important step. Now I have 95. Does 95 divide into 8? No. What about 85? No. So 855, that's pretty big, but let's just focus on the 9. How many times does 9 go into just 85? About 9 times. Let's try it. If it's too big, we can try a smaller number. 9 times 5 is 45. Carry your 4. 9 times 9 is 81. Plus 4 is 85. Look, they made that easy for you. It looked like it was going to be hard, but it's quite easy. Okay, number 6 is a little bit trickier. How many times does it take you to move it to get to the end of 1200ths? 1, 2 times. Now it's a 12, and we're going to have to move it in the box 2 times. 1. Okay, I ran out of digits, but I can still move it another time. 2. And what's going to go here? 0. How many times does 12? Oh, make sure you get your decimal up there in your answer. Your decimal's here. It's over here at the end now. So put it up here, and we're done with the decimal. How many times does 12 divide into 90? How close can we get? If you know your math facts, 12 times 7 is 84. And then you have 6 remaining. Okay, add a 0. We practiced that yesterday. Add a 0, bring it down. And now 12 into 60 terminates because 12 times 5 is 60. And that's it. Okay, number 7. This is a very tiny number, 46 thousandths. How many times am I going to have to move it? 1, 2, 3 times. 3 times to get to the end. 1, 2, 3 times in the divisor. Now, your decimal is not always going to go to the end of your divisor. See, this one stopped before the 4. Now, let's divide it. 46 into 3? Nah. 46 into 30? Nope. 46 into 300? Now we can divide that. Let's see how close we can get. Maybe 6 times. If it's too big, we can just try a different number. 6 times 6 is 36. There's my 3 that I carried. And then 6 times 4 is 24, 25, 26, 27. That's 27. If my leftovers here are bigger than 46, I know my number's wrong. Okay, I'm going to have to borrow 9. That's 4. Okay, so I have 24 remaining. Bring down that 8. How many times does 46 go into 248? Well, looking at my previous work, 6 times 3, 6 times 46 gave me 276, and that's too big. I need to get 248 or less. So let me try 5. 6 times 5 is 30. Carry my 3. 5 times 4 is 20 plus 3. Okay, and then I have 18 left over. Bring down my 4. 46 into 184 is going to be 4 times. There's 24. Carry my 2. 4 times 4 is 16, 17, 18, and I have 0 remaining. Okay, now your job is to do number 8 on your own.